Welcome into this Monday edition. Blue Sky Live here with you today. Back in the Clark Ford studio. Chase Parham, Neal, McCready in Clark Ford studio. We'll discuss dog days kind of here a little bit. Got two champions crowned last night. Final two team championships of the athletic year, if you will. Now heading into, 3 weeks prior to, that official kickoff of the football season on June 14th, which is July 14th, which is SEC Media Days. Lane Kiffin going day one. We'll start those previews in the morning. But first, we will hit some other topics here today.
I need to apply for a credential. I'm just not sure exactly what to put on the credential.
Are you going? You think you're going?
I don't know.
Okay. Just wondered. Wasn't sure.
I think it's 50-50 at this point.
Do you? Well, I thought you for sure were for a while, and then it kind of went to like 2%. I didn't think I for sure didn't think you were going, and then it's in there somewhere.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm just going to stop because there's so much we can't say, so I'm just going to move on.
I'm getting to a point though when communication is supposed to be a two-way street, and when it's not,
I feel like there's a certain roadblock right now coming from one.
Like it's some,
you know those YouTube videos where they've got all the stuff in the drainage ditch and the water's not flowing through. You feel like that's happening a little bit right now. From one way.
Maybe these aren't beavers that are damming it up. These are people.
LSU has won the college baseball national title. Their 8th since I think 1991. They started going to Omaha and then winning, and then the Oklahoma City Thunder winning Game 7 last night in Oklahoma City. First title for the franchise since moving to OKC. Second overall. What year did Seattle win it? Like 76, 77, something like that?
Seattle won it in 79. I was 9 years old. They beat the Washington Bullets the year after the Bullets beat the Sonics in 78. It was back when the NBA was on tape delay. Yeah. I do remember the 1979 NBA Finals, however.
Oh, do you really?
I do.
What was that?
Seattle.
Oh, that was that one.
Seattle and Washington. Yeah,
really?
Yeah.
Why do you remember that
one? Seattle had players that I liked that I would pretend to be in the driveway.
Oh, we did that back in the day.
Dennis Johnson, before he went to the Celtics and became a star.
Yeah.
Won a title with Seattle. Jack Sigma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, before we get into all the news of the day, discuss those things and more, tell you about Blue Sky locations all over the state of Mississippi, up and down I-55 throughout North Mississippi, all the way down to the epicenter in Macomb. We got Sweet Daddy's locations at most of those stops. They do lunch specials, $5.69, couple sides bread, any size fountain drink, and plenty of catering options. They'll take care of you, whether it's just, taking out for your family tonight, maybe extended family, a little bit of an event, or even feeding offices, workplaces, those type of things. They can hook you up with Blue Sky locations all over the state. And again, we are in the Clark Ford studio.
We are. Clark Ford's in Amory, Mississippi. 662-257-1900 is the number. Call it. Ask for Corey Clark. Tell Corey what Ford product you're looking for. He'll send you a quote within 15 minutes in business hours. It's right to the bottom line. There's no hassle. There's no haggle. You get your quote. The rest is up to you. You can shop that quote around. You can do what I've done, what I recommend that you do, and that's hop into a Clark Ford today. 662-257-1900. Great service after the sale. Corey, the people at Clark Ford, they want to be your car guy. They want to be your truck guy. They'll prove to you what that means when you make the call. 662-257-1900. Guest join on the Campbell Clinic hotline. From fractures and sports injuries to complex spine and limb conditions, the pediatric orthopedic physicians at Campbell Clinic in Oxford are the only specialized pediatric orthopedic team in North Mississippi, providing expert care for growing bodies. Visit CampbellClinicOxford.com to schedule an appointment or call 901-759-3111.
So oddly, a pretty good bit to get to here. Sorry, real quick, I'm going to forward one email to somebody. Again, LSU, Oklahoma City. I got the highlights on. You got the shirt on. I mean, you're hanging out there, and I'm gonna get to that because I don't want to. I'll probably will end up staying there for a minute, so I'm being a little more aware here as I'm doing that. So I want to talk about this though. This show yesterday in Coastal. First, before we do that, condolences to family. Fred Smith passes away, founder of FedEx. Obviously, we have many Memphis listeners and titan he was for that city, as well as giving to lots of universities and schools that many of you guys support throughout the time. I never knew him in any capacity at all. No, his daughter-in-law Collins was obviously shown to his daughter a little bit. And then I guess Cannon was a bit of a recruit back in the day. Right? Cannon Smith ended up going to, like, I know it didn't pan out, but like maybe committed or signed with Miami at one point.
Yeah,
something like that.
I don't remember.
I've probably told this on the podcast. My one and interaction is incredibly loose, and I wrote this on the message board yesterday. It was probably 2008, 2009. I had sweet tickets to go watch Gonzaga and Memphis at the Forum men's basketball. Back when they used to do a little bit of home and home stuff back in the day, and it was through a FedEx. Amory had True Temper Sports, which is like the big golf shop manufacturer, and they did a ton of stuff with FedEx. Ended up with tickets in probably one of the FedEx boxes at the Forum. First half, sitting up there, no big deal. Halftime, get up, go get food, drink, whatever, just kind of mingling with some other people there. I go back to sit down for the second half, and somebody's in my seat. And I get on the next row or whatever, and I'm like grumbling and kind of annoyed. And I'm young, I'm an idiot, whatever. And I'm probably not being loud about it, but I'm sort of on and on and on to the person I'm with. And finally, the person I'm with leans over and goes, that's Fred Smith in your seat. I don't think he's in your seat. And I went, that's a very valid point at that.
These are all his seats.
Yes. He has all the seats at that point. So I stood down and just enjoyed the second half of the game. There
probably wise.
Point. Yeah. But I'll still laugh and went, just got a little bit above my skis there. So LSU wins 5-3 yesterday to sweep the national title series, 2-0 over Coastal Carolina. They win 1-0 after a complete game performance by Cade Anderson in game one. And then they were very good again yesterday. They knock out Jacob Morrison pretty early in the game. They do enough and get their 8th title. Again, it's fairly amazing. LSU, they've been to Omaha essentially half of the year since like 86 or something like that. If you do the math that way, they've won 8 titles. Again, did not win one until 91. I tell you what is remarkable, and I wrote this morning. During the years where it wasn't even a 2 out of 3, it was just you win one game in the final. They went 5-0 in those games. That's so hard to do, to win the one game. And they went 5-0 under Bertman. They have then won it in, I think, 2009. They won it. And then obviously 23 and 25. They won 2 of the last 3 years. They lost in the finals to Florida in 17.
Yeah.
But I think that's their only finals loss. So,
I mean,
it's the standard. It just is.
They are. They have been. There is so much to the mental aspect of sports. And there's something about that program, and it transcends coaches. It went from Bertman to Maneri to Johnson. I'm sure I'm missing someone.
Smoke Laval was in there and got fired after going to Omaha twice in 4 years.
Yeah, but he didn't win it.
Didn't win.
Smoke used to come into my bar.
Did really?
He did.
Oh.
When he was the coach at ULM.
Oh.
Yep. I think you put that uniform on and you expect to win. I don't think you even think about losing. I don't think you feel pressure. I don't know what it is, whether that's a cultural thing. I think it's fascinating.
And it's not.
We watched that. We were at the beach, and it was the Wednesday night. We were leaving on Thursday morning. It was me and 12 kids, and they all went out to dinner, and we had a big condo kind of thing, and I knew the next morning was going to be hell if we did not do some prep. And so I didn't go anywhere. I fixed a quick dinner for myself.
Got everything ready.
And turned on the LSU Arkansas game.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm working. I'm keeping up with it, but I'm not watching it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure.
And I'm getting things organized. I'm throwing things away. I'm taking trash out. I'm kind of surveying, hey, what is tomorrow morning going to be other than just pure hell? And as that game's unfolding, you're like, oh, it's a great game. Interesting. Back and forth is 2-2. I think Arkansas took a lead. LSU Jones hit the home run to tie it back up. And you're like, oh, this is interesting. And then I think they went to the 10th, right? Or was it the 9th?
It was the 9th, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Because they didn't get to the 10th because of what happened.
Arkansas gets the big hit at the bottom of the lineup. And you're like, whoa, this is going to, I was thinking to myself, this is going to be interesting tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because LSU's got a decision to make. Do you run Anderson back out on short rest?
Because they were warming up Ianson that night going, hey, we're trying to end this thing tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, I wonder what they do. And then the kids got back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so they all come back in, and the dynamic in the house went from me getting stuff done and just kind of watching to now there's noise. And LSU got a couple of guys on, and I had to go to the restroom. I had to pee. And I'm not even really thinking about it. And I come back, and they still have 2 on, but an out. And I was like, what'd they do?
This is when Aloy threw to third.
And Carson goes, they threw out the lead runner at third. And I went, why?
He means nothing.
And I said, was it a
weird play?
I said, was it a weird play to his right or something? He goes, no, it was a routine ball. And I was like, oh.
That ain't good. You don't give them extra outs.
And then literally the ball to left where I felt so bad for Charles.
No, terrible.
And
just
but the mental part of sports. And I don't know what that is. All those kids that play at Arkansas were not part of what's happened in the past. And the kids at LSU were not part of what's happened in the past.
And Aloy didn't throw to third because he was nervous in the moment. I mean, well, at least because of the past history. Sorry, let me rephrase.
Yeah, I mean, he's the guy that just won National Player of the Year. It wasn't.
They have 3 Golden Spikes winners since 2015.
It's amazing.
3.
It's amazing. It's just, but there's that. My point's more about LSU than it is about anything. Is that LSU just kind of always plays loose and just does
they
things
expect to win
because they always win.
And they play loose. It is ingrained in that program, in that fan base, in that environment. I have coaches all the time because for whatever reason, and even people that don't necessarily have a ton of ties to Ole Miss that are in the baseball coaching world, if I'm talking to them about a player, a recruit, or something, we're just kind of whatever. The question I always get, and because I've gotten it, I don't want to be hyperbolic. I've gotten it 4 times since the end of this season. I've had people go, hey, what was the environment like the night of that Murray State game? And they were expecting me to say, oh, the stadium was tight as hell like it always has been in the past. Like, that's where it was going. And I went, no. I was like, I think 2022 broke that. They were good. Like, the crowd was fine. They just lost a baseball game. It wasn't because of – but in the previous ones, reason or not, tight as hell and gets nervous and it feels weird. In Baton Rouge – they lift them in ways that is hard to explain for anybody that doesn't go down there. I know you think we're just talking. You're not just talking. No, it is a tangible thing that comes out.
Yeah.
And they have this permanent horseshoe, but they breed it in a lot of ways. And I mean, because it's so ingrained in like the sports. I was laughing at myself yesterday because I thought with Morrison pitching, I was like, Coastal's got a chance to get this thing to game 3. And then, who knows? I mean, maybe. And I was texting Steve Thomason, and I sent him a text, and I said, my mind completely changed, and I knew they were going to wear them, but when they came out in those damn gold jerseys yesterday, and I went, that's it. Game's over. Like, I don't know how. I don't know what's going to happen, but they're in those damn gold jerseys, and they're going to win the game today. And then they did. And I went, okay.
So I was out mowing the yard. I was not watching the game.
Thing. Yeah.
And I got back, and as you know, it was hotter than Hades yesterday in Oxford. Anyway, so if I look wet right now, it's because I am. I went running this morning. I've taken a cold shower and sweated through my clothes. So I got finished with the yard, jumped in the swimming pool, got out, and was looking at social media, and everyone's losing their mind about Ump Show. And I'm like, what happened? Because I'm completely oblivious.
Yeah.
And finally saw the 2.5 minute deal, and I'm like, oh, come on.
Well, you got
it is my one. So it's what's interesting. I haven't covered much college baseball at all in the last 17 years. Obviously, you left for 247. I covered the SEC tournament. I covered the NCAA tournament when Ole Miss was in it. And my opinion on college baseball kind of dramatically changed, except for one thing.
The umpires.
Except for one thing.
The umpires. They are horrid.
It's horrible. It is so bad.
The system causes them to be horrible, but yes.
But it's so bad that it does make me go, damn, do you guys just completely overlook this part of it? Because I get it. It's fun and the ballpark and the atmosphere. And I told you,
Yeah.
I walked away from that going, yeah, if I'm Ole Miss, I have to try to be competitive in this because it matters to people.
Yeah.
But that the umpiring is so inconsistent. And so the sport, on one hand, you have better players all the time. You have more guys now. Like there was just recently a call up, and maybe you can remember who it was. There's been a lot going on in my brain. There's a guy that got called up that was playing college baseball last year, and he got called to the bigs here in June. I can't remember by who. I know Kansas City called up Jack Caglianone.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. You know, there's dudes that are coming up that college baseball, especially at the high level, the SEC level,
they're skipping a lot of the minors. They're going
is essentially high AA baseball.
Yeah,
for the top level prospects.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the kid who made the play in left field, Davalon.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be in the bigs within 2 years.
Yeah.
A
couple years ago, Garrett Crochet went almost immediately up.
Yeah, people love him. I mean, Paul Skeens, we've seen it, right? Yeah. That said, the umpiring, especially balls and strikes, is so inconsistent and so bad that it I think inside the sport, it's something that they're going to have to figure out. Hey, how do we do this?
And it's a couple different things here. This is actually
Christian Moore, Cam Smith. Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of dudes. It's different. Yeah, guys are coming up fast.
So there's a couple different elements here, and I'm going to hit two. I'm going to do one, and then we're going to take a break, and we'll come back because it ties into another story that I found downstream, and I want to talk about today. And Angel Campos is the umpire that caused the issue yesterday. Home plate umpire, was in the major leagues for 7 years. He did 500 and something major league games. He essentially was not renewed or fired for being inelpt as a Major League Baseball umpire, and now has come down to the Division I level in college to do it there. He has a reputation for ridiculous ejections. He had multiple in Major League Baseball that gained notoriety over the course of his years. And look, the NCAA did exactly what you knew the NCAA would do, which was back the umpire with the dumb statement that once you're giving a warning about balls and strikes, any further movement equals an ejection, which is okay, great. You knew that was coming. And should Schnall have come out of the dugout? No, that's his one error if you want to give an error. However, moment, time, he didn't say any magic word. Like I've seen multiple people on message boards going, well, he said you. It's like, no. He didn't use any of the words. He literally did not really even notice the warning, comes out and goes, you missed 3 in a row, and then got rung up for it. That was it. You missed 3 in a row. He gives an all-time quote yesterday after the game when this happens. I don't care what the NCAA rule is. Everybody kept talking about that. You do not throw him out right there over that. Like it is the dumbest. The things, and again, I'm going to come back to this. Things that play. Some of it is they don't call enough big games where they hear things like this all the time. And you have, and this isn't about Campos because he's called at the major league level, but a lot of when you get in these tournaments. A lot of these umpires were calling small conferences and not big crowds, and they're sensitive. Like in the SEC, I will give the SEC umpires a lot of credit. They hear from the coaches and just don't even pay them any attention. I mean, they're getting MF'd and everything. And I mean, Mike is tough on umpires, and nobody says it like just solo. No. So anyway, his quote though, this is good. He says, let me find it.
This is the athleticism.
Yeah, but it's way down the list. The whole thing's good. This is Kevin Schnall after the game. There's 25,000 people there, and I vaguely hear a warning issued. As the head coach, I was an assistant for 24 years, and as assistant, you're almost treated like a second-grade, second-level citizen, and you can't say a word. As a head coach, I think it's your right to get an explanation on why we got warned. I'm 48 years old, and I shouldn't be shooed by another grown man. When I came out to ask what the warning was, a grown man shooed me. At that point, I can now hear him say, it was a warning for arguing balls and strikes. At that point, I said, because you missed 3. I got ejected. If that warrants ejection, I'm the first one to stand here like a man and apologize. But if that warranted an ejection, man, there'd be a lot of ejections. As an umpire, it's your job to manage the game, the national championship game, with some poise and some calmness and a little bit of tolerance. Says, if you guys watch the video, there was a guy, first base umpire, that came extremely aggressively, tripped over home plate umpire Angel Campos' foot. He got embarrassed in front of 25,000, immediately does the 2-game suspension thing with his hands for bumping an umpire, immediately does that. There was no bump. He was embarrassed. I shouldn't be held accountable for a grown man's athleticism. It's valid.
I mean,
because he does not touch that first base umpire at all. He
No.
runs in and hits Schnall and then just falls down.
Yeah.
And does a hell of a tubby barrel roll.
He
I
did.
mean, it was a good little. And then he
he's
gets up
right.
and he's like, two more games. It's like,
No, you.
and yet, no, in the NCAA, he will be suspended for 2 more games. Because, I mean, Bakich was. He didn't get to watch the first 2.
There was he needed to walk over to him and say, I don't want to eject you. You've got
Let's chill.
You've got to chill and go back to the dugout.
Yeah, let's not do this now. We got a long game ahead of us.
Yeah.
I get it.
You're upset. I'm going to go, you've missed 3 in a row. Say, I'm serious. You've got to get back in the dugout. You got to stop. Or I'll have to eject you. He didn't even give him a warning.
Oh, it was
so and then
soft.
if he kept going, then you have to throw him out. And then they throw out the first base coach because he's upset. It just wasn't fair to do that to that team. But I'll say this, I don't think it was going to matter.
I don't think it changed the game. Coastal is a really interesting baseball program.
The winner of the LSU Arkansas set
was most likely
was going to win the title. Yeah. Period. Those were the 2 best teams there.
And I saw, look, how Arkansas lost was grueling. It's terrible. Their amount of scar tissue in Omaha is becoming staggering the way it is all played out for them. They finished 3rd 3 times now, I think, plus the 2nd place Oregon State finish. But this was not 2018. The ball was in the air for a title in 2018. They had to win 3 more games.
Yeah.
It's not the same in any capacity.
It's not the same at all. And it was just, the shortstop.
Just made a mistake.
Ryan Terrio was on with Matt Moscona the other day, and I thought the former LSU, Chicago Cubs,
infielder,
Baltimore Orioles, I think. Terrio played a lot of Major League Baseball, and he was talking about how earlier in the game there was a routine ground ball hit towards Aloy, and he kind of stayed back on it. And he said on that one, he did the same thing. He stayed back on it, and in his
kind of got on his heels a little bit.
Well, he talked about how the first one, LSU beat it out at first, and he wondered if that was Aloy going, oh, shit, I was a little late on this. Let me just get the lead runner. That it wasn't a choke. It was just – then you watch the replay. But in fairness to Kahio Aloy, he doesn't have in his mind – he doesn't get to go, hey, where is the runner right now? Because had he gone to second, assuming Kojal, I think, turns it, it's a double play, game's over. But these still would have had to win another day.
Yeah.
And then
beat Coastal with your pitching all screwed up. I mean,
and then if you won, you would have played Coastal, but your pitching was weird. There's no guarantee you win. I would have picked them to win.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, my complaint with it was, but it led to my deal, and I've been really disciplined about this for a while now. That was the one night that I looked at social media for a minute, and it was like, good God, people. I don't know what this is about, but this is not a healthy way to live life. The just joy in others. It's 2 things. It's sports gambling, as we're about to do prize picks.
In 10 seconds.
It's sports gambling, but it's also this weird joy in other people's failure that is not a good way to live. This is my observation.
No, that's true.
Not a healthy way to go through life at all.
And it's the look, Twitter is not real. It is not what anybody should be basing information or decisions off of, but there are lots of very unhappy people there that take it to the extreme.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even necessarily like okay, let's make a joke and feel really sorry for the person and then whatever. It's like this venomous thing where it's like, no, I'm glad you are in pain right now. And it's like,
and they're showing the pictures of the kid, and he's losing. He's just completely melting down.
He's crying in the outfield during the inning.
I mean, come on.
They're not off the field yet.
Come on. I mean, if you can't have a little empathy for that, you need to go figure it out because something's wrong.
Yeah.
And
Should he have caught the ball? Yes, but it was a tough play. It's a top spin falling liner.
And he stumbled. And once he stumbled, you lose your eye level, and the ball hit his shoulder. I mean,
it hit him right here.
When it happened, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And all I could think of was,
oh no.
Well, I'm at this point in my life where all I could think of was his poor parents.
Yeah. In the stands,
his parents are in the stands, and they just want to go comfort their son, and they can't.
Yeah.
And how difficult that must have been for his mom. That's what I thought about. I thought about his poor mother.
Yeah.
That's what I thought about. That shows you maybe where I am at stage in life. But I thought Laura would have a really hard time right now if that were Carson.
Yeah, 100%.
That's what I thought about. You know, I don't know. It just people are weird about stuff. But again, wrapping it up, this part, credit to LSU. I mean,
it's impressive.
They were not the team in the SEC that everyone talked about all year. We talked about Texas. We talked about Vanderbilt. We talked about Arkansas. And LSU just kind of quietly, consistently stayed in position.
They won 53 games.
And then, boom, they win 53 games. They're champs 2 out of the last 3 years.
They were 12 outs from being eliminated in a home regional by Little Rock.
And they're an absolute force.
6 straight SEC champions. The first double up of those.
Yeah, no, I mean.
Vandy in 19, State in 21, Ole Miss in 22, LSU in 23, Tennessee in 24, LSU in 25.
Yeah, the SEC is overrated. Hot take. Did not age well.
They had the 2 that went to Omaha finished first and third. So. All right, Prize Picks, best place to turn your sports knowledge into cash. With millions of members, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 2,000 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. They put their members first, so all the withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When the picks hit, you get your money as quick as 15 minutes. App's easy to use. Create a lineup. All you have to do is pick more or less on a few players' stats for, again, chance to win that cash. It's the best way to win real money this baseball season with players going off, which ones aren't. Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your sports takes into real money all season long on Prize Picks. Maybe today it's Kyle Raleigh, the Mariners catcher, more than 1.5 total bases against the Twins. Spencer Schwellenbach of the Braves, under 5.5 strikeouts for the fledgling Atlanta against the Mets that are suddenly struggling as well. That is today. Download the app and use code MPW to get $50 off instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. It's code MPW to get $50 off after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game.
We're brought to you by Comer Heating and Air, Southern Air Conditioning and Heating, different names, same great products and services. If you live in Oxford, Batesville, Tupelo, or the surrounding area, call Comer, 662-801-1777. If you live in Hernando, Memphis, or the surrounding area, call Southern, 662-429-4429. Looking for the perfect place to rent luxuriously in Oxford? Discover the Bell at the Lamar, Oxford's brand new apartments just 1 mile from the square. Live in the heart of it all with spacious 2 bedrooms starting at just $2,100. 3 bedrooms for $2,400. Each unit features modern finishes, beautiful interior doors, quartz countertops. They're perfect for parents, students, or anyone wanting to enjoy the university, ball games, and everything Oxford has to offer. They're going fast. Don't miss your chance to call the Bell at the Lamar home. Call them today, 662-550-0467, or visit the Bell. That's the Bell, BELLE, Oxford.com to schedule your tour. Registrations for all of the fall youth sports leagues at the Oxford Park Commission will come to a close on Sunday, July the 6th. This includes soccer, baseball, softball, flag football, and volleyball. Complete your registrations online through the OPC website at oxfordparkcommission.com. There's also in-person registration available at both centers Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Oxford locals, Ole Miss families, if you need dry cleaning or laundry done right, Lapel's Dry Cleaning has you covered. Proudly serving the Oxford community since 2016. Lapel's takes care of everything from suits and formal dresses to comforters and everyday laundry. Even better, they offer free pickup and delivery to make life easier. Just call 662-638-3149 to be added to their pickup and delivery route, or visit them at 3010 Old Taylor Road, right across from the Mark Condominiums. Mention Rebel Grove or MPW Digital for 50% off your first order. Trust Lapels to keep you looking your best. I've got 10 weekend thoughts up. I think I put them on Twitter as well. They're brought to you by Andrew Sego's Sego Wealth Management. Are you retiring soon? How long should you wait to take Social Security? What accounts should you pull from first? Are you already retired? Should you consider Roth conversions? These are just some of the questions that can only be answered with the personalized retirement income plan. Andrew Sego Wealth Management specializes in helping folks just like you come up with their retirement game plan. Whether you meet at his office in Collierville or prefer Zoom from anywhere, schedule a free discovery meeting and see what they can do for you. It's rebelsretire.com. Again, rebelsretire.com.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, had Arkansas won that one game, it would be 8 straight with only the one double up because of Florida in 17 and then Arkansas in 18.
Oh, yeah.
Or one pop up from
total domination
from 7 different teams over the course of 8 years at that point, dating back to Coastal in 2016 for that point. Yeah, I mean, last comment on Coastal. I saw this 2 days ago. I know I put it on the board at 24/7. Was they have a real chance here to be sort of the Gonzaga for college baseball. I mean, I know they're always good, but because of not having an FBS football team, or at least a really competitive football team where you're not putting money, you know what I mean? Like they can ramp this up. They had one fundraiser dinner in Omaha a couple nights ago that raised $1 million for NIL in that one dinner. They have come out and said they're going to fund all 34 scholarships for college baseball. The school has struggled a lot with retention. It's not a very academic school, and I'm not making fun. I'm saying though, it's not about that. It's about they're having a hard time keeping students there because a lot of students are picking Coastal because it's Conway, Myrtle Beach. Let's go over there. They get a ton of out-of-state kids who end up going home later.
Right.
So their 4-year retention is under 40% on graduation. So they're having to shift a lot of academic stuff, and I wonder if that actually will even help because you do typically have a little bit of a chance to recruit better with some higher academic standards in baseball over time. So I don't know. I think if you want to buy stock in somebody, Coastal's not a bad one to kind of become that really enormous outlier when it comes to Group of 5 baseball teams taking even another step.
Yeah,
Schnall's good. Probably going to be there for a while.
He's a fiery dude.
Yeah, they said the broadcast that he and Jay Johnson are buddies from when they were assistants for a long time, and said, I forget which way it went. I think it was Schnall. You can correct me in the stream because I was kind of half paying attention. Was since they weren't on the same side of the bracket, one of them texted the other one and was like, "Hey, why aren't you playing your infield so back?" Like during this thing, it was like asking him some like logistics questions during the College World Series. Like, why would you do that? Because in their minds, like we're gonna play each other at least the finals, so cool, whatever. But anyway. So I was going to make this later in the show, but it plays into the Umpire, the show. The Athletics' Chris Vanini, who does a lot of state of college football stuff, he had something on officiating in college football yesterday. And there was a big disagreement. And I'm just going to read the whole thing, and then everybody can determine where they fall on this. But I think there are multiple valid thoughts. He was doing a story on the state of college football officiating, and note of the dozen plus people he spoke with, quote, almost all said officiating is better than it's ever been. That the correct call percentage is somewhere around 98%, though some say it hasn't improved enough or become consistent enough with technology. NCAA Secretary Rules Editor Steve Shaw, who has become like Pravda when it comes to defending officials at this point. He says, quote, our officiating is as good as it's ever been, but the game demands more than ever. That assessment is not shared by NCAA rules analysts, former NFL official, former AAC coordinator officials Terry McAuley, who tells Vanini it's not getting better. Let's put it this way. It's stagnant at best. The actual officiating on the field is just not getting better like it should be. We should be seeing more consistency both on the field and the booth. Feelings are similarly mixed among coaches who believe some conference officials handle judgment calls, such as trash talk, differently. One head coach remarks, the SEC guys hear more shit, so they don't get as worked up over dumb stuff. In the Big 12, I thought I was playing a game with my kid's church league basketball team. For those calling for more transparency, Shaw contends, and it baffles me every time. If we start publicly pounding officials, a lot of bad things happen with that. Like what? Other than they're going to stop doing it.
I guess his concern is that
because they're not full-time employees.
Well, if you publicly do it, I wonder if that motivates a crazy to do something crazy.
But the alternative is we just never even.
I know.
They have complete regard to be shitty.
Yeah, I know.
And you don't even publish their grades. Like, show us who was sucked or was bad.
Right.
I mean, baseball doesn't either, but at least we get that third party that does all the ump score stuff, and we know that one dude's awesome.
Yeah.
I forget his name, but whoever he is.
I mean, NBA puts out the last 2-minute thing where they'll tell you when the call was right, when the call was wrong.
Yeah.
So there is some accountability.
Former Big 12 referee Mike DeFee says that it's a wonderful, talking about the, what's the model? Forget that part. He goes, one of the biggest things that hurts us are TV and the broadcasters have no idea of the criteria for review. Points out that a lot of times the actual way the rule is written is correctly interpreted on review, but because the broadcasters don't know the exact rule or understand it, that it creates a public perception issue on reviews, which I will buy.
I buy that because if you watch much NFL, they often have an official analyst, in the booth available to them when they have a review, or if they have a question that they can go to. There's someone that really knows the rules, former official, former referee, whatever. You don't have that much in the college game. Of course, it's hard. You have a gazillion college games as opposed to, there's 32 NFL teams. There's a limited number of contests each week. I don't know the answer to it in college football. I think college football is better officiating than college baseball. But there's just such an inconsistency. And I don't know. Here's the part that I don't know before I can really dive into this and make this some hot take, some Stephen A. Smith deal. I have no idea how hard it is to get officials, how hard it is to retain officials, how hard it is to keep the good officials from going to the NFL. I don't know. Things I just don't know. These aren't full-time people, though. These are people that have other jobs, and they fly in on Friday.
I mean, the NFL ones are too.
Yeah. They have a more comprehensive training deal.
And I think some of the reasons why it's getting harder is, frankly, the speed of the game just keeps getting faster and faster and faster because the athletes are better and better and better.
Yeah.
It's just tougher.
Frankly, I think NFL officials do.
I think you should have to basically. I think you should have to pass agility and PT test to be an umpire or a referee, because otherwise you have no ability to keep up with the action. It's impossible.
It's like, what is it?
You have to be able to move.
Freeman, the one that's
Freeman.
Brad. I mean, Brad's an elite athlete.
Yeah, he can move.
I mean, he's still an elite athlete, but he's out there with dudes that are like,
it's a totally different,
a little quick, and Brad has quick twitch. I mean, Brad was a hell of a player,
but
I mean, but my point is, I mean, Brad, I'm guessing, is upper crust. If we were to do an NFL officials athletic skill test, I would think he would be he would contend.
Yeah. I mean, some of the baseball umpires is like, how are you even getting out there?
I know.
Dude.
And you're officiating a game where the bat speed and the ball off the bat and just the things that are happening and the size of the athletes now.
It's tough.
I mean,
But it's amazing to me that in 2025, we can't, the UFL is doing the thing, I think we could probably mention in the stream, where they've opened up the audio from the reviews to the broadcast so you can hear what's being discussed and why and how. I like that because that's not even a judgment call. That's an interpretation of a rule, which I think would help. I have no issue. That's not criticizing an official at any point. It also would take away the aspect where I think a lot of people think that they're actually making a call in the booth, not upholding the current call with indisputable evidence or not at that point. There are some changes, but in 2025, the fact that you cannot have grades on umpires and referees made public and they just never have to respond to anything it's interesting for whatever reason there. So nonetheless, that's what I got. I don't know. Whatever.
It's June.
It's June. I know. I mean, I was right now. I was like, what's going on Miss Release?
Nothing.
Nada.
Recruiting dead period started today. All the visits are over.
There's some baseball portal going on.
Yeah.
They had They had a visitor in yesterday, Juan Vargas from Tennessee Tech. Sorry. And then
I'm going to write that down.
Yeah.
I need some help.
Let me get that real quick. Spell that Vargas.
Vargas. Juan Vargas. Tennessee Tech. What's he play?
He's a right-handed pitcher.
Oh, right-handed pitcher. Thank you. Per sources.
Yes. I think they're trying to get in St. Louis right-hander Owen Kelly here in the next day or so.
Kelly Saint.
The Billiken.
Yes, not the Cardinals.
He's a Billiken.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. They'll have more visitors in. I mean, they've got 4 or 5 commits right now. The latest being the San Diego State kid, Marco Silipi, I think. Something like that.
We got that one at Rebel Grove.
Did you?
Yeah, we were late.
Okay.
Kendall Rogers supplied that.
He supplied that one.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, that's still going on. That'll run now for the next few weeks, all the way up to the draft.
I'm laughing at regular size Ben.
That's good.
That's funny.
Draft July 13th
well, I would have
to
tweet it out right now.
News : Yes. The draft July 13th and 14th, I believe, is when that is.
Why is the baseball draft so late?
It's All-Star Weekend.
Oh,
it's now become a bit of it's All-Star Weekend now.
That's right. They're trying to.
Well, okay. College baseball complained and said you have to quit doing the draft while our guys are literally on the field.
Okay.
So now they've gone too far the other freaking way.
So they should do it this week.
It should be this week.
Yeah.
But
because the season's over.
Well, because that would do multiple things. That would also give you so much earlier clarity on these portal guys. Because take Ole Miss, for example. So a couple of Grant Richardson, Grand Canyon left-hander, committed to Ole Miss, chose Ole Miss over LSU in Texas, I believe.
But he's draft eligible.
He's draft eligible. Coming off Tommy John, probably okay.
Right.
Daniel Pacella, very draft eligible. Illinois State outfielder, had 21 home runs or something last year for the Redbirds. Really good player, big kid.
Just takes one team.
Very draft eligible. They could get drafted on July 14th, not decide what they want to do until like July 20th. And then you lose a guy who you were planning to either anchor your rotation, hypothetically, or hit in the middle of your order. And it's too late then to replace them. You're just done. It's stupid. The schedule actually makes worse sense now than it did the other way.
Yeah.
If you gave me one or the other option, I'd rather have the other option.
For sure.
Even though that wasn't ideal either. I mean, Ryan Rollison was on the field when he got drafted that night. Again, I'm sorry.
No, it's dumb. But waiting until the middle of July, because now you're messing up with guys getting guys signed and getting them in instructs and getting them ready and letting them have a little taste of it this year before
that becomes complicated.
Yeah, you run out of time.
20 rounds, and it's only 2 days now, I think.
Yeah,
they've trimmed it.
But you could do it in a day.
The draft.
Yeah, I mean, let's not act like you couldn't pull that off
because it's not a TV event. No, I mean, I get they're sickos.
They want it to be
one,
but come on.
They do it wherever the draft is. I mean, wherever the All-Star game is now. Is it in Atlanta this year? Did I dream that?
Did Atlanta get it back?
That's right.
Did Atlanta overcome all of their racial problems?
I forgot that. Where is the game?
Erased those, huh? Fixed it in a couple of years.
Yeah, Google's AI says the 2025 MLB All-Star Game will be held on July 15th at Truist Park in Atlanta, Georgia.
Well, good for Atlanta. Fixed everything.
Moving on up, like the Jeffersons. All right. So anyway, that's the situation. I mean, look, here's the one thing. With the draft, it's those dudes, whether Ole Miss gets them, doesn't get them, whatever, and then it's Hunter Elliott. That's where the situation is.
Frankly, from a grow the game standpoint, the earlier version was better because people would watch the College World Series because my team drafted the kid from LSU or the kid from Ole Miss or the kid from Auburn. The Tigers fan.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Detroit Tigers fans like, hey, that kid pitching for Ole Miss, he was the kid we drafted in the second
so now
round.
I can watch.
So I'm going to watch him. Let's see what he's about.
Yeah. You'd at least draw a fan base in.
I mean, seriously. I don't think it's a big deal, but I'm just saying.
It's stupid, but here we are.
If I were a Major League Baseball executive, I'd want this earlier. I wouldn't want to wait till the middle of July to do it.
Having your portal in the middle of the summer, like just from, and again, because a lot of college baseball coaches are not paid handsomely like football, where we go, hey, you get $9 million and like shut up. Like your quality of life sucks. Your whole June and July is out doing all this crap and just on the phone.
Yep.
I mean, and we had Matt McLaughlin on the show last week, the new basically capologist for Ole Miss athletics, because that's the world we're in 2025. And he was talking about the 35 scholarships thing, or 34 scholarships, and how look, it's good for players, great for players. It's definitely a step up. It's all outstanding. And does it create a huge advantage nationally? Well, of course. The problem is that you're recruiting against the same 9 idiots for every player the entire time anyway. Like every single player, it's like, who they beat? Well, they beat South Carolina, Alabama, Ole Miss, like blah, 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 blah. And it's like, what'd you beat for him? Well, Texas, LSU, Florida, whatever. Oh, you lost him? Who'd you lose to? Well, we lost him to Florida. It's like it's the same pile of teams that all have essentially the same amount of money and the same number of scholarships signing everybody. I mean, you're not getting into battles where you go, oh, you got him. Who'd you get? Well, we beat Houston and Cal Poly for that guy because we gave an extra scholarship.
No, everybody in the SEC is recruiting the same people.
Yes. I mean, I know Ole Miss was really out. Like, I think they were excited when they got one kid who was just on some ACC schools were on him. It was like, whoa, that's a different game. We can bring our big stick into that one. That was,
and then you wonder
why
did Tennessee and LSU and Arkansas and Florida not recruiting?
There's probably those conversations from coaches where they call people and go, hey, what'd you not like about that kid now that he's on my list? I'm just kind of wondering.
Sure.
You need an outfielder. What was
it? What'd you see?
Yeah.
What'd you not see?
You go, well, because it almost feels like they just trade him off. You take him, we'll take him. I can pay him more, but when I do that, I can't pay him more. So you do that.
It's probably true.
In that Coastal Carolina story, one Power 4 head coach for baseball, which had to be an SEC school because they mentioned that they had $2.5 million for NIL on this current team, that in 2 years they were planning to only put about $500,000 into their baseball roster. Because from a rev share standpoint, baseball is not even going to get enough to scratch. It's not. It's going to have to be in this Deloitte NIL thing. So I don't like matches. I'm going to be fast. But because of that, if you don't believe that the corporations and the quid pro quos want to be baseball centric, you're just not going to have the ability to do that in mass. It's not going to work. It's not a thing.
All I heard was Deloitte.
That was all it took.
I just heard Deloitte, and I was like, let's look at the fire for a minute.
I mean, Deloitte is getting a lot of average publicity for being just an accounting firm or whatever the hell they are that suddenly has this contract.
Yeah, I mean, good for Deloitte.
They're rolling. They've already been approving some. Stamping them. Go.
I don't know how you don't approve it.
Get ready.
Oh, I know it's coming.
I should shut up. It is.
Yeah, I got lots of matches.
No, don't do that.
There's 300 in here.
Don't do that. They don't have the cool logo on them, though. What are those, diamonds?
These are, these are diamond large kitchen matches.
Well, we're doing the same thing we were doing. We're just now it's, okay, there's all this money. Now, how do we take that money and put it into deals and companies to then pay it? Like it's we're just changing the way we're money laundering. We're just shifting the money laundering into something else now. That's all we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I'm done. Sorry.
I mean, I've got lots of matches. Keep going.
It's fine. No,
it's
I'm
fine.
good.
I'm good.
All right, I'll cheer you up in a minute. Podcast brought to you here by Northeast Spark, the fastest, most reliable fiber internet option available. Whether you're streaming the Rebels or connecting with family and friends, they offer both residential and business packages with speeds up to 2 gigabits. To learn more, register for service. That's nespark.com. NeSpark. Get connected. Stay local.
Arnett's Fine Jewelry is a fourth-generation jeweler located in the old Lammon's Jewelry Building, North Lamar Avenue in Oxford. They offer expert jewelry repair, diamond engagement rings, wedding bands, stackable diamonds, genuine stone bands, pearls, genuine color stones, diamond jewelry, and much more. They offer great gifts for birthdays, anniversaries. They have flexible bangles, diamond pendants, earrings. If your wife is expecting a baby, Arnett's can help you find that perfect push present as well. Arnett's wants to be your jeweler. We're brought to you by the College Corner. We get closer and closer to football season. Someone said 10 weeks. 10 weeks till we get
There
rolling.
is less time. There's fewer weeks remaining than the number of weeks in the season. So yes,
there we go. 10 weeks or so. So you got get ready for 8 games at Vaught Hemingway. 8 games. It's a lot of home games, but that's good. If you like tailgating and all those things, there's going to be some games they're going to encourage you to wear white, powder, red, navy. College Corner has all of that stuff in stock. Get you ready for the college football season and more. They've got autographed helmets, autographed footballs in stock as well. 2 locations in the Jackson area, one here in Oxford, in the Oxford Commons, right off of Sisk Avenue. So check them out also online at collegecornerstore.com. We're brought to you by Argent Wealth. Argent, based in Ridgeland, Mississippi. They've got clients in more than 20 states. They provide detailed, specialized investment management, financial planning, retirement planning for individuals and businesses, and much, much more. At Argent, investing is treated like a commodity. Decisions are made using objective information and research, not emotions. So regardless of your level of wealth, Argent will sit down with you, listen to your goals, study your expenses, and put forth a comprehensive, detailed financial and retirement plan built just for you. It's myargentwealth.com. And we're brought to you by John Edwards, Regency Travel Incorporated in Memphis. John is part of Virtuoso. It's a worldwide network of travel partners that allows him to supply his clients with added values, unique benefits, simply not available to other travelers. If you're thinking of making a trip, one that you want to create a lifetime of unique memories, get in touch with John. Give him some parameters, give him a budget, and know this, you don't have to live anywhere near Memphis to take advantage of his services. Although if you do live in Memphis, that's cool too. It's 901-494-3387 or jedwards@regencytravel.net.
So take me through last night a little bit. You were very pessimistic leading into last night's game. I think that was in an effort to protect yourself. I get that road teams have won 3 straight game 7s, but that doesn't matter. That had no impact on last night.
I was preparing myself I could be prepared for a loss because I knew I would have to do some consoling. And so I was prepared. And game 6 was an abomination for the Thunder. The Pacers just smoked them. And yet all the numbers really favored Oklahoma City going into last night.
Oklahoma City had lost back-to-back games twice all year.
I think that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And once was early when the Holmgren thing first happened.
And once was after everything was wrapped.
Yeah. Cursed TJ McConnell a little bit last night.
Should we go back and play your audio from the day Chet got hurt and the season was over and they were going to probably miss the playoffs and be a lottery pick?
I'd like to apologize to the McConnell family. There were some moments in the third quarter where I said a lot of negative things about your son, and I'm sure he's a wonderful person.
He was damn good in the third quarter last night. Oh, my
God. He kept him in it. We were about to blow him out.
Yeah.
And then TJ McConnell. Carson kept going, can nobody stop the little white guy?
Nope.
It's like, no, not yet. I mean, look, first thing that sticks out is, and I actually had this conversation with an NBA friend of mine. We were talking about Tyrese Halliburton before Game 6. And he said, what would you do? And I said, I wouldn't play him.
Yeah.
And he's like, really? And I was like, sometimes if you leave decisions to players, they're always going to play. Elite players are always going to play. You have to protect them. And subsequently, I saw Tony Jones, who is a friend, not as good of a friend as the other person I was talking about, but I'm a huge Tony Jones fan. He covers the Utah Jazz, Denver Nuggets, some of those kind of teams for the Athletic.
Oh yeah.
And Tony wrote the same thing. He said tweeted the same thing last night. He said, you can't let players make those decisions because calf strains here lately lead to Achilles tears.
3 in a year in the NBA of high-profile guys. Is that right?
Yeah. And so, that happened to Tatum. Kevin Durant, happened to him in a NBA Finals when he was playing for Golden State against Toronto. That was the first thing, was that when that happened, it took some of the steam out of the game for a few minutes. And then I saw some people doing the whole, well, this cheapens
Damian Lillard.
Yeah, this cheapens the title. And I'm like, no, it doesn't. It doesn't cheapen the title at all. It's the Thunder played 50 games without Chet Holmgren. They played 20 some odd games without Alex Caruso. I mean, injuries are part of sports. They happen. But I felt bad. I'm looking at the.
Yeah, you would love to have seen. I think the Thunder still win, but you'd love for Halliburton to have played in the game because it was shit. The Pacers were up 1 at the break.
Yeah,
right?
He got off to a great start, and
he hit 3 threes in the first.
Yeah, he played really well, and I'm sure this was devastating for him.
I was intrigued by just the pressure on Oklahoma City coming into the game because you got ran out of the building in Game 6. You're trying to cap off not just a title, but a young team trying to cap off a historic season and doing it against an opponent who analytically you should be running off the floor. And you haven't to that extent. I saw The Athletic. They had a story that caught my attention enough to read through it that from a straight regular season metric standpoint, the Pacers were if they had won Game 7, would have been the second worst champion since the merger, outside of maybe the Bullets, is what it was. And he thought that's actually an odd amount of pressure on Oklahoma City that you would let this happen in this season in this way at that point.
I think the thing that concerned me with them was they're such a laid back group. They're not. They don't have a lot of that outward intensity, that emotional intensity, and I sort of wondered if they were just taking this not lightly, but if they were just treating the whole every game's the same game, when it's like, no, man, every game's not the same game. Like you're going to have to bring some intensity, and I thought they brought it yesterday, and the fans were electric. That building gets so loud. If you've not been to a game in Oklahoma City, it's hard to explain it to people.
It looks like a college environment.
It is very much like a college environment, but on steroids because it's 20-something thousand seats.
Yeah.
And they're way ahead of schedule. Mac Attack, thanks for the super chat. Do they trade Chet? No. Why? Why would you trade Chet Holmgren? He was phenomenal in the second half yesterday. Phenomenal. Impacts the game in so many ways with his length and his ability to stay in front of guards. And no, absolutely not. I don't get it. I don't care. In fact, I kind of like it that so many people have developed a hatred for Thunder. Like Carson loves it. He thinks it's great. It's fuel for him because he's like, don't get on the bandwagon. Because he's like, I've been riding this thing.
That is an interesting dynamic because for whatever reason, I don't think you're going to see the small market bandwagon with the Thunder the way that, frankly, like the post-09 Saints.
Yeah.
Where everybody suddenly became a Saints fan.
No. I think they're going to become the team everybody hates.
Yeah, I do too.
And I don't really understand it. It was interesting last night. I was watching Van Pelt.
Mm-hmm.
Who's excellent, by the way.
He's fantastic.
He's so freaking good. And he was talking about, hey, this is the first time I've met Mark Daignault. This is the first time I've met Sam Presti. This is the first time I've met Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Yeah, these people that just won an NBA title. But they were impressive, and you listen to them talk. And I know these guys because I've watched I've listened to so many podcasts and I've watched every game and post games and
inundated.
Yeah, I feel like I know a lot of the players. Obviously, I don't, but you feel like you do. But it was exciting. It was fun. I've had some people ask which was more rewarding, that or the Cubs.
It's Cubs.
But it's very similar.
But you didn't have you've had scar tissue with the Thunder, but it's a short period of time.
Just a totally different relationship. Carson doesn't give a shit about baseball.
And it's a relationship that you only had I get the Carson element, but the personal relationship is only as an adult.
Yeah.
There's no kiddom.
It's different
with it. Yeah.
But it will be for him. This will be, he'll remember this forever. I mean, he was psyched. I mean, he was fired up. I mean, this is his team. This is his Cubs.
And you got to start enjoying it late third, really. I mean, they weren't going to blow the lead in the fourth.
I don't know.
Oh, shut up.
It was the Pacers, man. I mean, the Pacers have come back so many times that you're like,
even right here when because we're watching, it's 91-77 with 5 to go.
When we were nervous. I mean, I felt decent about it. It was like get stops.
Well, I remember. So I mean,
that Matherin gets the layup right there to get within 12, and you're like, this is what these people do.
Well, because my element with last night was, I was planning to sort of. I watched LSU and Coastal. And then had a little bit of time, was going to like kind of do dinner or whatever, and then thought, okay, I'll turn on the NBA, and I'm planning on watching the entire game. Well, I put it out on Twitter. I'm finishing a Ole Miss history baseball book right now. I finished all the principal writing. It comes out in September. But I had to do some stuff with it last night. I had to go to campus last night around 6 o'clock for some pictures and kind of do some different stuff with it. And it like 8, I'm like, okay, I really want to catch the second half of the game, so I'm going to leave and I'll figure it out later. So I left. I got home and I turned the TV on just as the third quarter was starting. And I see that I had seen on Twitter right before that Halliburton had gotten hurt.
Yeah.
And in my head, because I didn't see a score, I only saw Halliburton had got hurt in the first quarter. I was like, oh, well, the Thunder are probably up 15 at this point. I turned it on. The Pacers are up 1. I went, oh, shit. Like, I kind of had like a little bit of a moment right there. I'm like, and I guess OKC was just starting the big run in the second half because they had gone up 77 to whatever it was. And I think it was like 77-66 or 65, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I do this in basketball a lot if I'm kind of pulling for one team or another. I said, I'm just going to watch, and I think, okay, it's going to take Indiana to take a while to get to 77. So let's see what the Thunder's lead is when they get to 77. And I'm just kind of watching from that angle, and then that's when the huge run happens, and McConnell's the only one that scores for basically the entire third quarter. And you went, oh, well, hell, they're going to be up 20.
They had one of those 19-2 runs that the Thunder are known for, where they just blow. They're built on defense. They're built on culture. They're young. The whole team's under contract. They've got 2 first-round picks in this draft coming up. There's some rumors that they're packaging picks that they want to move into the top 10 in the draft. They certainly have the collateral to do it. There was a big trade in the NBA yesterday. Kevin Durant goes to Houston in a trade.
Didn't get a ton.
I thought it was a steal for the Rockets. I'm not a big Jalen Green guy. I know Jalen Green has a huge ceiling, but
because it was 5 second-round picks. Who gives a crap?
It's 5 second-round picks. This year's 10. Dylan Brooks and Jalen Green.
That's not it.
You know, if you're Houston, you make a deal and you keep Jabari Smith, who I'm high on. You keep Cam Whitmore. You keep Reed Shepherd. You kept Alperen Şengün. I mean, Houston's going to be a contender next year.
Jabari Smith, Auburn, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. We never would have thought this in the past at all, but because the games and the management is so analytical in today's world, would Presti be able to be a GM in baseball or football and convert
probably
his culture, knowledge, and things needed to other sports?
Probably.
Are we at that point of management in professional sports?
Probably.
That it's not like, oh, I got to know if he can hit the inside fastball. Like, well, computers will answer that question for me.
I mean, I laughed at because I'm one of the idiots that when Presti does the end of the season thing, it's usually a 2.5-hour press conference, and I'll watch the whole thing.
It always is, isn't it?
I'll watch the whole thing. But a lot of people that were introduced to Presti for the first time last night are like, who is this guy? He's very cerebral. I'm like, they built their whole organization on that.
Yeah, that's who he is.
But this was a total rebuild. I mean, they completely tore it down to the studs.
They went 40-42 2 years ago.
And before that, I mean, as Carson will tell you, I mean, Carson and I have sat in the living room and watched Thunder games where we're like, we don't need to win. Yeah. I mean, we've watched games where it was like our best player was Theo Maledon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Google Theo Maledon.
Where's he at now?
He ain't not in the league.
Bagging groceries?
Somewhere, yeah. I mean, we've been through Alex Abrinish era. We've watched games where the Thunder had to get Lindy Waters off the court because he was making too many shots.
Lindy Waters?
Yeah. He's still in the league.
Is he? Does he play for
Warriors.
Okay. Does he play?
Yeah. A rotation piece. But
Maladon is the point guard, shooting guard for some foreign team. I don't know. Real Madrid. It ain't soccer.
No.
Yeah.
We've just kind of been through all that. So it was this last 3-4 years has been really fun. The build is always fun. And this build was rapid.
It was
they go from the play-in where they don't get out of the play-in. They beat the Pelicans, but they lose to the Wolves. Then last year they lose to the Mavericks in Game 6.
But they had the best regular season record last year.
Barely.
Yeah.
And then this year they blew the rest of the West away.
You almost – maybe I'm crazy here. The build was almost so fast that I think you might have even enjoyed it a little more if it had taken one more year. Yeah, you almost didn't get enough come up a little bit.
They hit so many home runs.
Yeah. It was like,
Jalen Williams and Holmgren.
He's going to get paid one day.
Well, they're all about to get paid. Shea's about to get paid.
Yeah.
And then Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren they're going to agree to deals this summer that kick in a year. Everybody's going to get paid. They're going to have to move people in a year.
Jalen try to branch out?
I don't think so. Financially, the incentive is to stay.
Okay.
I'll give the NBA this. They've built the CBA where if you do it the right way, you can keep your stars.
Mm-hmm.
You got to pay them, and you'll be in the tax, but
you can do it.
They're building a new arena, and look, there's no pressure on them now. They've got a title. Once you get one, they're the odds-on favorite for next year, and next year's a long way away, and a lot of things can happen, but I will say, the only thing I'll push back on with people is the whole SGA thing. SGA's, look at the numbers. Just look at the number. If you like numbers, look at the numbers because he's in categories with some super elite people.
NBA film room tonight, recapping the Game 7 in film room detail. NBA TV, 6:30 tonight.
They do phenomenal work with that.
Got that.
So if you like, it's very similar to that show that used to be on ESPN with like
Jaworski I love the matchups or whatever.
Yeah, it's very similar. They really break it down with former NBA players, and I've learned a lot about basketball watching that show.
Come back in 1 second. First, tell you about G&M Pharmacy, 662-236-2222. They deliver locally in the Oxford area, and they offer medicine. For your prescriptions at the same time each month, take care of you. One trip to the pharmacy, one delivery. You have what you need when you need it with G&M. So whether that be Tyson Drugs in Holly Springs or G&M here locally in Oxford, 662-236-2222.
Get the beautiful, healthy smile you deserve at Corinth Dental. Dr. Bubba McQueen, Dr. Jenny Beth Hendrick are devoted to restoring and enhancing the natural beauty of your smile using conservative, state-of-the-art procedures that will result in a beautiful, long-lasting smile from routine checkups to advanced treatment, including implants and Invisalign. Corinth Dental is here to help you achieve your smile goals. Schedule your appointment today. Take the first step toward a better version of yourself. It's corinthdental.com. Also brought to you by our friends at Parish Brewing Company, located right there in the heart of Cajun country in Broussard, Louisiana. Their simple goal is to make awesome craft brewed beer. They do a great job of it. They've got a lot of beers these days that are absolutely fantastic. They've got a kind of a lager, a Mexican lager a little bit called, I think it's Pescador. Absolutely fantastic. Really, really refreshing. Also, Dr. Juice, which is a go-to IPA. They've got a double IPA called Ghost in the Machines. Fantastic. Canebrake. So many more brews wherever you're looking for beer, your bar, your restaurant, or at the grocery store. Make sure you look for Parish Brewing Company. You won't regret it. Also, we're brought to you by Art Hayes, Sotheby's International Realty. Are you thinking of making a move? Put the power of Sotheby's to work for you as a licensed agent with Sotheby's International Realty and a supporter of all things Ole Miss. Art can help you buy or sell in your hometown or anywhere in the world at no charge to you. Seriously. So call and ask him how. 612-805-5929 or email art at arthur.hayes@lakesmn.com.
Tied for the third most overall wins in a season with the 96-97 Bulls at 84. Is that just behind the 72-10 Bulls and the Warriors from that year?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Tied for third.
I guess that would make sense.
I mean,
a lot of pressure to finish it off.
SGA in Game 7, 29-5-12. It was terrific. I mean, in the first half when
and the Pacers are now screwed for next year.
Yeah.
They've lost another year now.
Yep. Brutal for them.
And I forget who the NBA player was. I was watching some podcast clip a few days ago, and he was talking about how you clearly want to be playing in it because there's an immortality to winning the title and to winning an NBA championship, but that losing is the worst thing you possibly could do because you've played so much freaking basketball with such an intensity. You don't have the title. You have to recover. You have to do it again. He said that it's not even necessarily like this small gap. It is a gap to monumental proportions on losing and winning an NBA championship because the playoffs started April the 17th.
Yes, I know.
I mean, we're talking 2 months and 6 days.
Yep.
Of NBA playoffs. And now hockey does basically the same thing. It is what it is. But
it's a long process. I mean, when you make it to like Sam Presti last night was saying that yesterday they worked out a prospect during the day.
Because
watched college film most of the afternoon because the draft is this week.
And you have to prioritize that.
And you've got to do it.
I'd have been a nerd.
I mean, can you imagine?
I'm going to lay in bed till 6 and I'm going to go to the arena and I'll see y'all later.
I mean, they're getting up today, walking into the building as NBA champs with work to do.
Yeah, we got to do.
Don't have. I mean, that's like yesterday. Some of the people that were losing their mind over the leaked video of the buses getting ready, even though Indiana was doing the same thing.
What was it?
Oh, you didn't see this?
No.
There were some buses that the Thunder were putting the wrap on to make them OKC buses for the parade.
Oh, okay.
And someone leaked the videos before Game 7. I was like, come on.
Everybody does preps.
I mean,
you can't put events together in 12 hours.
No.
Like
especially when the people inside the building are not, they've got other stuff going on. I mean, they have a draft to prepare for. They have 2 first-round picks.
Oh, good grief.
I mean, I don't think they'll use them both, but they have them. And so they've got to do something with them.
They have 2 first-round picks.
15 and 24.
Why does everyone else suck? Like, is this?
I mean, look, we're in for if you love the NBA, and I do, you're in for a really fun time because the Spurs are coming. The Spurs are going to be so good, assuming Wembanyama's healthy. I think the Rockets are going to be really good. There's several other teams. I mean, and then you have really interesting storylines in the East right now because you don't know whether Jason Tatum's going to play. If he doesn't, what does Boston do? There's a lot of people that think this week coming up is going to be an incredibly active week in the league. And it just started with the Durant trade, which I'm sure the NBA was not thrilled about, that leaking on the day of Game 7 of the finals, but it happened.
ESPN did a huge mock draft today. They have Derek Queen from Maryland going to the Thunder at 15. It's a center.
Yeah.
Like an actual center, like a plays a position.
He was the kid that made the shot that won the first round game for them. Remember that?
Yeah. Grizzlies taking Cedric Coward from Washington State and Duke.
Where's Coward? What number?
16, small forward.
I will be surprised if Coward falls to 16 if he's available at 15.
Okay. Then what's your other pick? 24?
24. Which, if you made me guess, the Thunder will do one of 2 things. They'll either package the 2 picks and move up a little bit to take someone that they want, or they'll take one at 15 and they'll do a draft and stash at 24.
They say here that they expect them to package this and move up in the other pick. However, if they were to pick, they had them taking Illinois, Will Riley.
Yeah.
Small shooting guard, small forward from.
As of right now, they don't have 2 roster spots.
Oh. It'll work itself out.
Yeah, they'll do something.
Well, sports news, we close. I've got a couple. I could have pigeonholed some Ole Miss stuff, but we got a full week to get through here, guys. So I had to prioritize kind of how we were going to do that. Interesting PGA Tour situation yesterday. Keegan Bradley comes back and wins the Travelers Championship yesterday. Neal was not paying attention to that.
I heard that some guy had a really tough 18th hole.
Tommy Fleetwood left the door open throughout his round. Keegan Bradley birdies the 18th. And here's the rub is that Keegan Bradley is the Ryder Cup captain for this year for the United States. He has been a good player for a really long time, but he was not expected to contend for one of the 12 roster spots for the Ryder Cup this year. And instead, you can make the argument that he's the United States' fourth best player right now. So does he make himself a playing captain, which has not happened in quite a minute, or does he? They do a call from the bullpen, bring somebody else in to be essentially the head coach of the Ryder Cup team and let him play. What is going to happen there? So the PGA of America is trying to figure that out right now, how to handle that situation. There was a big Twitter push last night to just make the call to the bullpen, tell Tiger to come in and coach the Ryder Cup team, and then promise Bradley he can catch it in 2 years when they play it the next time.
Interesting.
I don't like the player-coach dynamic because it just you're no matter you either frankly a lot of times you don't put yourself in where you should.
Where you should have.
You actually are harming the team by being selfless.
Yeah.
Because you go, I'm going to sit that guy and play myself.
See, if they make Tiger the coach, I might watch. Okay. I'm all in. Like, do you make Tiger?
You get Tiger, and we're going to put red, white, and blue on.
I mean, where do I sign?
And it's match play, which is more fun.
Which I understand a little better.
Yeah. It's suddenly we're cooking a little bit. I mean, I'm just saying. So I don't know what they're going to do, but they are in a little bit of a weird spot there with that. I don't know when they have to decide. I know nothing else, but yeah, Keegan Bradley has made this somewhat complicated.
Well, it was one of my things yesterday. I don't know Tommy Fleetwood. If Tommy Fleetwood walked in the room right now, I wouldn't know who he was.
Seems to be a super guy. Seems to be a super dude.
Like the idiots at Barstool, and I'm sorry, I've gotten where I hate you people, just enjoying this guy melting down. Why is that an enjoyable thing? I don't understand it. Like, what did he do to you? I don't know Tommy Fleetwood. I didn't lose any sleep over Tommy Fleetwood last night.
You couldn't pick him out of a lineup to save your life.
If he walked in here right now and you said, who's that? I'd be like, I don't know. But why do we hate this guy?
Yeah.
Why do we take such relish in his failure? I don't understand that. Maybe this is just me getting old. But that stuff bothers the hell out of me.
Also, a really good venue for the Ryder Cup fan and course. It's at Bethpage Black in New York this year. So, an interesting spot there. So, all right, we will continue tomorrow with stuff. Plenty will happen. I mean, I could have gone down the rabbit hole of college news, but didn't feel like today. Wasn't in the mood for it today.
We'll do it later.
Probably won't be in the mood for it tomorrow either, but we'll see where it heads. So, let us know if your prize picks hit tonight when you bet on, Cal Raleigh and the Mariners and all the guys going on there. So let us know.
He's good.
Over under 1.5 total bases tonight for that. So take care. Oh, also real quick, media day coverage, podcast, site stuff. Shoot an email if you'd like to sponsor anything with that. Would be much appreciated. It would be a huge benefit for you. Throw a really good package on there. So shoot me an email, chase.parham@gmail.com if you would like to get a little or get a lot of exposure actually there for a pretty good value. So appreciate that. I'll mention it again tomorrow. Take care. Stay safe. We'll talk to you then.